It's time for the One Bar and Lupagus Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
Hello and welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I am Lupagus. Today we're going to talk about some other positions the Vikings might try to trade for. Before we get too far into that, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like our vids. We'll have a little something for you guys every single day. A little Viking nugget to chew on. So always keep checking back or subscribe, and you'll be notified when something new drops. All right. So the Vikings recently attempted to trade for defensive tackle P.J. Hall from the Raiders. Ultimately, that deal fell through because Hall failed his physical. I didn't really read why that was, but the trade's off now. But it got me thinking, if they're willing to trade for a defensive tackle, what other positions might the Vikings be willing to part ways with a pick with and upgrade through a trade? So we're going to list those right now, and 3 of them are on defense, 2 are on offense. Let's hop into the defensive side first. The first one that comes to mind is cornerback. Look at the depth chart now, it's just full of young players. You got Mike Hughes, who's the lead old man on this group, who's only played like 8 career starts. His play's been up and down. He really has to step up this year and be that veteran leader. Then you got Holton Hill. Again, not much less experience than Hughes. He's got 5 starts to his name. Another, for a starter, potential starter, very inexperienced player. Then you got 2 rookies, Jeff Gladney, Cameron Dantzler, Chris Boyd, who, while improved nicely in last year, still probably is a year away from where you really want to see him taking a lot of meaningful snaps. And then who knows who's going to round out the rest of the depth chart, whether it's Harrison Hand or undrafted corner like Neville Clark. But anyway, if these guys are slow to adapt, slow to pick up the defense, if there's an injury, whatever, they get COVID, whatever happens, this is definitely an area the Vikings could look to trade for a veteran player who could come in and help, an experienced player, a guy who's been around the league a while, knows what an offense can do, can kind of pick up on certain tells and certain looks, kind of anticipate what's going to come. So definitely cornerback is very much in play and definitely a position the Vikings could trade for. Another one is just one step back in the secondary at safety. 2 of the best in the league, Harrison Smith, Anthony Harris, starting for the Vikings. It's the depth after that is scary. It's going to probably be a couple of rookies. I would say Josh Metellus, and who knows, maybe it's undrafted Miles Dorn. If Harrison Hand converts over, he could be a possibility. I think they'll probably go with that kind of a foursome to start, but there's an injury or something, definitely the Vikings could look to trade. If someone gets COVID too, I think they would like to have at least one experienced backup at their safety core. Right now they do not have that. You kind of rolling the dice here that your starters are going to stay healthy, not get sick. But if something were to happen, I could definitely see them going out, trading a pick to get a safety, a guy who's been around the block, who can come in and start for you. Maybe someone Mike Zimmer is familiar with, who knows. And then another position, which is kind of similar to safety, where you're likely going to have a couple of rookies as backups, as defensive end. Again, as starters, Daniel Hunter, simply one of the best players in the NFL, flat out. And you got the rising Ifeadi Odenigbo opposite him, who's coming off a breakout season. So you like where you are with your starters. The depth here is the question mark. DJ Wanham's going to make this team. We've said it over and over again. Andre Patterson loves him. There's no way he's not making the team. The question is, who's going to be the other backup? If they only do keep 4, which I think they will, because I don't know if there's 5 worth keeping here. You got a 3-way battle between Zettel, Eddie Yarbrough, and Kenny Willekes. I think most fans are rooting for Willekes to be that guy. But again, here, for some reason, all 3 of these guys suck. Much as I like Kenny Willekes, he was a 7th-round pick for a reason. If none of these guys are showing up in camp, Vikings can definitely go out, swing a deal, try to bring in a guy who can come in and help out and feel a little bit better about their overall depth at this position. Because if Odenigbo or Hunter gets hurt and you got to rely on a rookie, the pass rush could take a major hit, and that's going to just have a negative domino effect on this defense. It's going to hurt every single level. So I think defensive end, a trade is definitely on the table. Another one is quarterback. If Kirk Cousins gets hurt in the preseason, has a freak injury like Teddy Bridgewater did, Rick Spielman could definitely look around, see what's out there, see who he could get. Maybe he calls the Eagles again, tries to get one of their quarterbacks. Who knows? It would probably cost more at this point to try to get like a Carson Wentz than it would with the Sam Bradford with his age and stuff. But and the contract probably won't work out anyway. But anyway, you could definitely look for someone to bring in because you can't roll into the start of a season with Sean Mannion as your quarterback. If you are, you might as well just tank. The offense would change so much. Dink and dunk, safe passes, heavy running game. Everybody would know what's coming. It would just be ugly. So I think if Cousins were to get hurt, you definitely look out and you look to bring in a quarterback via a trade. And the last position is guard. Kubiak was on a presser yesterday, talked about how, and again, he's probably just toeing the company line, going with the incumbents, but stating, Elflein and Dozier currently would be on the front first team line, which is horrifying because they both suck. Let's say they struggle like they have been, and Drew Samia's not ready showing up. Cleveland's not transitioning well to the inside. Then you look to bring in a guard. There is some decent ones in free agency, but maybe you can find even somebody better with like a mid-round pick. The Vikings have plenty of picks next year. They can wheel and deal. Spielman's not afraid to do that. And if it's a position like guard that's going to be huge to your line, if you're going to run the ball as much as you want to, you need to have talent there. You need to have someone who's ready to go, someone who can step up and not be a liability. So if it's just, Elflein, DeKoser looking like they have been, and no young guys stepping up, I would definitely look for the Vikings to bring in a guard via trade. It'd be well worth giving up a pick for. Like I said, we have 1 million of them. So those are the positions the Vikings could potentially trade for this preseason still. Just to recap: cornerback, safety, defensive end, quarterback, and guard. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. We'll be back later with plenty more Vikings nuggets to chew on. Until then, remember, always keep your skull in your hole.